In less than 2 years, I'd been on the road opening college shows with Kate Wolf, won the pilot show and the first show of the Gong Show. I'd sung songs in front of a monkey cage at Ralph Helford's Japanese deer park for a screaming, poo-throwing monkey that hated folk music. I'd recorded my first record, sang every Sunday night at a bar close to where Happy Days was filmed and seen them all drunk. Made love to a woman I thought was Catherine Ross in Wrightwood, California at the Mountain High Resort. Written the last song to be a commercial for Philip Morris. Chased UFOs at Giant Rock Airport in the desert. Sung on the streets of Santa Barbara, State Street, across from Maggie McFly's. Performed every Monday night at the Relic House in Reseda. Played every Wednesday and Thursday in front of the Encore Massage Parlor for tips in Van Nuys. Seen Freddie Prinze live at the Hollywood Comedy Shop and met friends that would last a lifetime. From a Pulitzer Prize-winning photojournalist named Anthony K. Roberts, to Yukon Tim, bartender Jimmy Shea, mandolin Dave Hevron, Harley, to scores of others I've lost through the years. I've been divorced, fallen in love with Gypsy Lady, and buried a real Indian chief on a reservation, Chief John Myers. I'd eaten every drug known to man and found myself in the eyes of a million faces, from hookers and hippies to millionaire lawyers and future stars. Less than 2 years is all it took to become America's last true troubadour, or as I like to say, 34 years later, America's lost dreamer. I still owned my own ass, and the world was my goal. I wanted to see it all and write poetry about it all, every town, every state, and every face in each bar and restaurant. I wanted to make love and sing and laugh and grow old on the road, my Garden of Eden. Later, 1,000 pages of poetry, 500 songs, and a huge story would bring me to my knees wondering why. Please tell me why. I listen and listen to song after song, but I never quite find it. It's just not the right one. Again and again I write down new words, and as I read them all back they seem so absurd. Why, Mother, why did you give this to me, this gift that brings searching for my soul to be free? As far back as I know, there's been awareness of pain and conflicting joy that hurts in my brain. I wish I could stop. I'd like to sit down, but they keep on applauding to hear one more round. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Please take me away so I can cry and not sing. The road opened up and I left the desert. Yukon Tim and Jimmy Shea headed to Alaska the same day. My road would be much longer, and the dream was already coming true. I have a coffee cup that was given to me by my niece Elizabeth and her husband Andrew, and the cup reads Taoism. Shit happens. Protestantism. Let shit happen to someone else. Catholicism. If shit happens, you deserved it. Judaism. Why does shit always happen to us? Atheism. No shit. TV evangelism. Send more shit. Confucianism. Confucius say shit happens. Buddhism. If shit happens, it is not really shit. Zen Buddhism. What is the sound of shit happening? Hinduism. This shit happened before. All of these things represent a transition in the evolution of man's thinking, or a final breaking of the ties that bind, or the rebellion against God and society. In the Christian world, it appears to all start with BC and AD. It all represents an easier path to the destination, a more exciting, simple, positive journey to the center of one's creative juices, the finding of oneself, the act of achieving freedom. One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest is a great example of leaving one way for another Insanity is always an option, but I prefer to carry on and be a valued gift to mankind. Insanity can lead to a loss of communication. I wish to be heard and enjoyed by others. I would hate to lose my love for adventure and beauty and magic, the ability to touch another's soul. In 1970, my father had a heart attack and died. The man I had based my decisions on seemed to have skipped out one day with no notice. He just died and was gone. My family lost all semblance of being functional. After the burial of my dad, a transition took place, and every member of the family was forced to think for themselves. It has been very interesting to watch in the last 34 years. It's not easy to be human. We are all so frail. We all think we're right. I suppose if a person lives past 40, they have been right. At least right for themselves. If you make it past 50, it's close to miraculous. If you go past 60, it hurts, and past 70 is real scary. Past 80 or 90 is probably not too smart.